I now turn to Ranking Member Reed for his opening remarks. Senator.
Well, thank you very much, Madam Chairman. Mr. Obadal, Mr. O'Keefe, welcome to you and your families. Gentlemen, I'd like to acknowledge and thank your spouses who have both served as officers in the Army and the Air Force. We appreciate your family's long records of service. You certainly exemplified dedication to nation and to the Constitution. Thank you. Mr. Obadal, you have been nominated to be Undersecretary of the Army. Your long career as an Army aviator and Special Operations Officer should serve you well in this role. If confirmed, one of your top challenges will be helping the Army navigate the perpetual tension between end strength, modernization, and readiness from a budget standpoint. The Army has been working to grow end strength and pursue major modernization efforts for years, but it has faced a multi-year trend series of flat budgets, which appears to be the case again this year. Last week, the Army announced broad initiatives that reduce headquarters, consolidate commands, accelerate emerging technologies, restructure infantry brigades, reduce procurement of certain ground vehicles and aviation systems, and other changes. The details of this plan are so far limited, but I would ask for your thoughts on how to balance these efforts against such budget priorities. Mr. Obadal, I'm also skeptical of the administration's deployment of 12,000 soldiers to the southern border, including elements of the 10th Mountain Division and the expansion of Army installations to include so-called national defense areas along the border. At a time when border crossings are at the lowest level in years, border security is indeed a national security, but immigration enforcement is a mission that must be carried out by the Department of Homeland Security, not the Department of Defense. And in my personal engagement with commanders at all levels, many of them have made clear that border missions have a draining effect on their time, resources, and readiness. Mr. Obadal, I would like to know how you would plan to ensure soldiers' time, training, and capabilities are not needlessly wasted as the Army works hard to meet its existing demands and increasing threats. Ultimately, the Army's success depends on its soldiers and civilians. Over the past 2 years, the Army has made significant progress in improving its recruiting activities and has enjoyed success with programs like the Future Soldier Preparatory Course. However, I am concerned that administration efforts to limit who serves and what roles may have a chilling effect on recruitment and retention. There is room in the Army for all qualified volunteers. I'm interested in your thoughts on this issue also. Mr. O'Keefe, I welcome your nomination to be Deputy Undersecretary of Defense for Personnel and Readiness. You're well qualified for this role, having served as a professional staff member on this committee for many years, in addition to your work at the Bipartisan Policy Center and service as an Air Force officer. If confirmed, you will assist the Undersecretary in addressing many challenges for the Department, including, first and foremost, ensuring that our military has adequate numbers of ready and trained service members of sufficiently high character and talent to meet our national defense objectives. You will be responsible for assisting the Undersecretary in military and civilian personnel policy, military family and child care programs, the Defense Department-run school system, and working with the military services to ensure the health and welfare of the force. I would ask that you share what military family issues you believe need to be addressed most and what recommendations you have to improve readiness. Gentlemen, you will both be challenged to handle the fallout from the purge of senior military officers and defense civilians. The civilian workforce has been shaken by the chaotic past few months at the Pentagon, especially in light of the indiscriminate layoffs and an impending 8% reduction of the entire workforce. And earlier this week, Secretary Hicks had issued guidance to eliminate about 20% of the general and flag officer positions in the U.S. military. I've always advocated for efficiency at the Department of Defense, but tough personnel decisions should be based on facts and analysis, not arbitrary percentages. Eliminating the positions of many of our most skilled and experienced officers without sound justification would not create efficiency in the military. It indeed could cripple it. I'd like to know how you would both plan to address these challenges. Once again, thank you to the nominees, and I look forward to your testimony. Thank you, Madam Chairman.